Prakash.
Dear student, this is my third video on applications of 555 timer. I would like to request the viewer to please see my previous two videos to understand the application of 555 timer as an unstable multi vibrator and unstable with 50% duty cycle. So let us see the third application, how 555 timer can be used to get a voltage control oscillator operation. Now the voltage control oscillator is the circuit where input voltage controls the frequency of the output signal. Let us see how 555 timer unstable can be modified to get VCO operation. So this is the circuit diagram of 555 timer in the unstable mode. So if we just connect another variable power supply, we control to pin number 5, so circuit gets modified as shown in the figure. So here voltage at pin number 5 now becomes V control, and at this pin where voltage becomes V control by 2. Previously in case of unstable, voltage at this point was 2 VCC by 3 and voltage at this point was VCC by 3. When you connect V control to pin number 5, voltage at this point overrides the 2 VCC by 3 voltage. Let us see how this V control voltage at this point overrides 2 VCC by 3. In order to understand this, let us consider uh, plus VCC and three 5 kilo ohm resistances which are connected in series. We also let us consider the power supply V control which is connected to pin number 5. Now let us try to analyze this circuit. Now this circuit comprises of two power supplies VCC and V control and three 5 kilo ohm resistances. Now when you have two power supplies, we use the principle of superposition theorem, which states that voltage at this point, effective voltage at this point across RL can be written as VTH1 plus VTH2, where VTH1 is the voltage across RL when only one power supply, that is V control, is connected into the circuit, and other power supply is replaced by a simple wire. So this will directly go to the ground and RL should be kept infinity. Now VTH2 can also be defined in the similar manner. So VTH2 is the voltage across RL when VCC, only VCC is connected and V control is replaced by a simple wire and RL should be removed, that is RL should be kept infinity. Let us now try to calculate one by one VTH1 and then VTH2. So to calculate VTH1, V control should remain connected into the circuit and VCC is replaced by a simple wire. So this goes to the ground and we have to remove RL. So RL is now infinity. Now voltage between this point and this point will be simply a V control voltage. It is because we are now measuring directly the voltage of this battery. So when V control is connected, VCC is replaced by a simple wire and RL is removed. So voltage at this point VTH1 will be simply a V control voltage. So VTH1 equals to V control. Now let us try to calculate VTH2 in the similar manner. So to calculate VTH2, VCC should remain connected into the circuit and V control should be replaced by a simple wire. So V control is now replaced by simple wire and then we have to remove RL. Okay, now voltage between this point and this point will be simply a voltage across this wire. Now when you measure the voltage across a simple wire, straight wire, it will be a 0 volt. It is because voltage will be I into R, so R of this resistance of this wire will be 0 or very small, so it is as good as if 0 only. So VTH2 will be 0 volt. So therefore the effective voltage between this point and this point when VCC and V control are connected, it is equals to VTH1 plus VTH2. VTH1 is V control, VTH2 is 0, so VL, that is effective voltage between this point and this point, is V control. So this is how V control overrides the 2 VCC by 3 when we connect V control to pin number 5. Let us now try to analyze the operation of this circuit. When circuit is connected in the beginning, there is no charge on the capacitor, so Vc is 0. We also assume that when the power is just switched on, Q is 0. So when Q is 0, base of the transistor is low. As base of the transistor is low, base emitter is not forward bias. So since it is not forward bias, it is as good as if it is disconnected, it is cut off. So therefore now the current starts flowing from VCC through Ra, Rb and then capacitor, and therefore capacitor starts charging. As capacitor charges, voltage across the capacitor increases exponentially. As voltage across the capacitor increases exponentially, voltage at this point also increases, voltage at pin number 6 also increases. As soon as voltage across the capacitor becomes slightly greater than V control, comparator 1 gives high output, comparator 2 gives low output. So when comparator 1 gives high output, S becomes 1, and when comparator 2 gives low output, R becomes 0. So therefore Q bar becomes low, Q becomes 1. When Q becomes 1, base of the transistor becomes high. As soon as base of the transistor becomes high, base emitter becomes forward bias, and therefore now this transistor starts conducting. When this transistor starts conducting, capacitor gets path to discharge through Rb and this transistor. Now when capacitor discharges, voltage across the capacitor decreases exponentially. As soon as voltage across the capacitor becomes slightly less than V control by 2, so comparator 2 gives high output, comparator 1 gives low output. So as becomes low, R becomes 1, therefore Q bar becomes high, Q becomes low. As Q becomes low, base of the transistor becomes low. Again, base emitter is not forward biased, so this transistor is as good as if it is cut off. And therefore now again capacitor starts charging. And these cycles are repeated. So therefore here we can see that capacitor charges up to V control point and capacitor discharges up to V control by 2. So charging of the capacitor happens up to V control and discharging happens up to V control by 2, and we get corresponding output signal at the pin number 3 point. Now if you change V control to some new value, V control new, then capacitor takes more time to charge and it will also take more time to discharge to another value of V control by 2. So just by changing this V control point, the time period of the output signal can be controlled, as the input voltage is controlling the frequency time period of the output signal. In other words, it is controlling the frequency of the output signal. So this circuit is called as voltage controlled oscillator circuit. Thanks. Please like and subscribe my videos.